Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Lovers Podcast. I am your host, Brock Marucci. Once again, Hunter could not join us tonight, but that is okay. He will be back, I promise, but I gotta try to, we want to try to keep this thing back in motion, and sports are picking up again, so we are here. You might notice I'm not in my usual setup. There's been a ton of technical difficulties I've been dealing with. I got it ready, and we figured it out, and I decided to do it just right here and right now, for a matter of fact. So let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about week one of college football and some bold predictions for the future of the season. And so let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to pick every game. I'm just going to I have the games on my phone over here. I'm just going to scroll through and give my thoughts on some of the bigger matchups or some of the more interesting things for the start of the season. So let's start with one more note. I'm actually recording this Wednesday night. It is August 30th. I'm going to try my best to get this out before the games start. Please bear with me. Trying my best, all right? But let's start tomorrow night as of this recording, August 31st. We have the Florida Gators traveling to Utah. Now, I think this is going to be a pretty fun game. This is going to be on at 8 o'clock. Last year, I picked Florida to beat Utah, but that was in the swamp. And now they're heading to Utah, and I'm going to go with Utah this time around. Utah did not want to lose that game last year, and so this year they're definitely going to be looking for revenge. They have an exciting season ahead of them. They could, they have a lot of good opportunities. So I definitely don't think they want to drop this one again this time around. Although Florida Gators, they might be a little hyped up after the Swamp Kings documentary on Netflix. That might have inspired them to play a little harder. But right now I'm going all Utah. So Thursday night, I'm excited to see that game and get some good games going. So then September 2nd, we've got the start of the season. Well, week one, we had week 0. Now we've got week 1. The first game that pops up to me, like Virginia at Tennessee, could be a surprise game, but Tennessee more than likely wins that one. Utah State at Iowa. I'm bringing that up just because we have, Cade McNamara at Michigan, going from Michigan to Iowa. People are kind of excited about Iowa this year. I'm not quite buying into it. I don't think this game is going to be, well, it could be if they struggle against Utah State, but I don't know if this will really tell us much in the future, but that's just something I'm interested in. Similar with, we got East Carolina at Michigan, Jim Harbaugh being suspended 3 games. Now, the first 3 games, glorified high school teams, in their own right, they'll do well in their own league, but against a team like Michigan, should be no problem. So, 3-game suspension, probably not a big deal as far as stressing these games. Now, what I think will probably be the game, hopefully will be the game of the 12 o'clock kickoffs, the most important one. We've got Colorado at TCU. That's right, Coach Prime is taking his squad to TCU, coming off of just an absolute obliterating, abysmal loss in the national championship. But we'll get to see what Coach Prime has been cooking up. I think it'll be a good game. I've said before that, Colorado, I don't think Colorado is going to the college football playoff. I don't think they're going to a New Year's Six bowl game. But I think fighting hard for just a bowl game is great news for a team like Colorado. So I think it would be very heartbreaking for them to just be completely destroyed. I'm going to go with TCU. I do think Travis Hunter is legit on Colorado, but I'm going to go with TCU just because they're at home. Coach Prime, I think he's got something good, but it still needs a little bit more time to cook. We got Boise State at Washington. This could be a fun one. That'll come, more of a reason I brought that up, that'll come up later, but I think that'll be a fun one. Okay, now we get to the nightcap. The game I will be watching, I'm hyped for. You could probably guess it based on the shirt I'm wearing. West Virginia at Penn State. I think this is going to be a great game, great atmosphere for college football, just a fun time all around. This is a kind of a dormant rivalry, if you ask me. Penn State West Virginia, it's similar to West Virginia and Pitt. Like they're kind of roughly in the same area, like similar atmospheres of college football. This will be the first time Penn State and West Virginia have played since, I believe it's 1992. And I really think this is going to be a great series. We got a home and home, so Penn State will be at West Virginia next year. But I'm going with Penn State. I think the first half we're going to see some nerves, Drew Aller starting. It's at home, but it's a night game. This is his first start. I think there's going to be some nerves. I think the team is going to be could be a little bit too overhyped, not quite in control. In the second half, they'll come out better. But exciting game. Looking forward to that one. One game, I think, a cool game. I wish they did more things like this. We've got North Carolina playing South Carolina. Two talented quarterbacks there. Drake May for North Carolina. You got Spencer Rattler, South Carolina. A little North and South rivalry. Like that's kind of fun. Like, who's the real quick Carolina, right? So that's some fun stuff there. Ooh, and another kind of interesting team here. I just saw this. We have South Alabama playing Tulane. Tulane had a magical season last year. Very highly ranked. Played USC and then beat USC in their bowl game. That was just a great season for Tulane, and to start this season ranked as well, that's impressive. I think that's really fun. And this year, now again, I don't think this will happen, but this year they're actually going to be eligible to make the college football playoffs. Now there would be an endless list of things that need to happen for them to make it, but hey, it's there, so keep that in mind. But I believe that's all the games. Yeah, that's all the games for Saturday. I forgot that. I just remembered that because there's no NFL, we actually have Sunday night football but it's college football. We've got LSU and Florida State. That's going to be a fun one too. Both teams ranked. Florida State stealing one over LSU last year. People are really excited about Florida State. I think they've got some weapons, but I'm still not quite sold on them. I think it'll play out throughout the year, but right now I'm kind of like, I think they'll be good, but holding off they're going to be great. But I do think this game's going to be fun. I think this is being played at like a neutral site in like Orlando or something. But I think there's a lot of pressure on both sides. Okay, so Florida State, you're kind of coming back, you're ranked. There's some excitement around the program. LSU and Brian Kelly, you made the SEC championship last year, and you fumbled a couple games. If not, you may have even made it into the college football playoff with 2 losses, but then you got smoked at the end of the year by Texas A&M. So I think there's a lot of pressure on LSU to perform and kind of live up to what happened last year. I think that's a fun game, though. I'm actually going to go with the Seminoles on this one. I was going to go LSU, but I said, hey, let's switch it up. Let's go crazy. And then Monday night football as well for college football. This game, I think this one is going to be nice. We got Clemson at Duke. Okay, usually I would say this is a snooze fest. Who cares about this game? It's Duke. They play basketball, not football. But I've been watching a little bit of stuff about Duke football. I think their quarterback is a sleeper. I don't know about Heisman candidate, but a good he could be solid this year. I think there's going to be. I hope there's an electric atmosphere. I hope the fans come out. I know it's Monday night, and when you think of Duke, now you don't immediately think football. But I really hope the fans come out because this could be a really fun game. And honestly, Duke football, clean jerseys. Big fan of the jerseys. Big fan of the color schemes. But I think this will be a fun one. I still think Clemson probably comes out with the win, but this will be a fun one Monday night. But watch yourself. Strap in for a good one. Yeah, okay, that is the end of the Week 1 games. Now I've decided I'm going to get some bold predictions. When I say bold predictions, we're going to go college football playoffs. This is the last year of the college football playoffs. There's only 4 teams that are going to make it. I'm going to go, so Georgia is in, as far as I'm concerned, it's Georgia's, they're going to walk there. Okay, they have, looking at their schedule, for a team like Georgia, pretty simple schedule. You have a game against Tennessee that could be tough, but if Georgia goes undefeated, and even if they lose in the SEC championship, as far as I'm concerned, they are in. This might be a hot take, a little bit of a bold take, but I do not think Georgia is going to win 3 times in a row. College football is set up so that the rich get richer. So if somebody was going to win 3 times in a row, I guess this would be the time. It would be pretty cool to see, but I just think like the hunger of the other teams has got to be there. Like there's got to be a trip up somewhere. That's usually what happens with these teams. So yeah, I just think even though like college football setup, the best players are going to the best universities, like it could happen, but I just think there's a hungrier and better team out there. So Georgia's going in. I'm going to go Michigan goes back to the college football playoffs. And then I'll have Clemson. And then I was like, what's kind of a team that, what would make this fun? Or what is kind of like a team like, whoa, was not ready for that. Going back to a team I mentioned earlier, we're going to go with the Washington Huskies in the college football playoffs. I think Michael Penix Jr., quarterback at Washington, stud. Going to be great this year. I think that people are really hyped about SC and Caleb Williams. And I think for good reason, but it's a little bit one-dimensional. And a lot of these scrambling quarterbacks, like it can work in college for a bit, but they can figure out that scheme pretty easily. Now I couldn't if I was a coach. I'd have no idea. But an actual coach in the college football or in the NFL could probably get it done. So I'm feeling the Washington Huskies. Also, Washington Huskies, nice jerseys. So that's my Final Four. We got Georgia, Michigan, Clemson, and Washington. And that's about all I've got for this episode. Again, another quick one. When Nasli gets back, they'll be a little longer. We'll get to hear his takes, what's going on with him. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Let me know some of your predictions for the future. I want to hear what teams you think will go to the playoffs, maybe who's going to win the Heisman, and yeah, all that great stuff. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.